It's been a while, Brady. How's everything going for you?
Well, so far so good. The players made us look good this season, so as long as we can keep that going, that'd be great. Is Marty still around with you?
Marty is still around. She still needs a little bit of a map every time she's on campus because she doesn't remember where the library was, but she is absolutely right here, Brady.
Great. Good to talk to both of you.
Absolutely. Pretty exciting. We all knew, and I suspect that you guys knew before CBS announced it today, that September 3rd against the University of Arizona. But now finding out 12:30 on CBS, I'm sure that's a thrill for you. I'm sure that's a thrill for the whole program.
Yeah, it is. I mean, anytime you can, number one, we're going to open up that beautiful stadium, and we're going to have a really good opponent, and obviously, and then being able to play at 12:30 p.m., is going to be awesome. Big CBS, so my mom doesn't have to stay up till midnight watching our games, so it's really exciting.
Yes, and plus I remember you and Rocky Long all throughout the years thinking that this is football. Football is played Saturday afternoons at 12:30 p.m., so I'm sure this just warms the heart knowing that that's the way it's going to begin at Snapdragon.
You're exactly right, Darren. So we're excited. I know our players will be excited about it, we've can't wait to get back on campus. Our kids come back next Monday. And they're in there lifting and all those things.
All right, it's like 100 and something days, 101 days, I think, top of my head, 100, 102, something like that. But you had an opportunity, Coach, to walk through there recently. I wonder what it was like and what your impressions were and what your feelings were when you were knowing the history of this program and where it's been and where it's going, what it was like just walking through there recently.
Yeah, Darren, I think I've been through it 4 times. I want to say, and each time it's unbelievable in what they get done and how fast they've gotten things put together, and really the whole vision of it. When you look at the drawings and all that, but now seeing them how it is, it's really unbelievable. And I had a chance to take Brian Sipe and his wife Jerry through, and you're talking about a guy who's a really proud alum, and he is so excited about what's going on.
You have the keys to the place, it sounds like. You can just show up whenever you want.
Well, no, not quite that, but, it was just being able to get over there, watch the improvements. And we've always tried to take some guests with us, so it's always been nice.
San Diego State has always had a lot to offer in recruiting, Brady, and I wonder how this stadium, Snapdragon Stadium, fits in with recruiting in 2022. I mean, what role does it serve when you're out there, when you're talking to a recruiter, your coaches are out there on the recruiting trail?
Yeah, I would say this, Darren, even before, early in 2021, I guess it would be, when we were just using renderings and all that in our presentation, a Zoom presentation for recruiting, it really has helped us. And now with it going to be a real live football stadium, it's going to be really neat as a place to sell, and, we've got a team that a year ago won 12 games, not playing a home game in 2 years. And now we have an opportunity to play home games and have a real field advantage, And then our guys, we were able to take the team through it in late April. So they got a good sense of where they're going to play, and it was really cool.
Have you been through anything like this? I mean, the opening of a new stadium, other than Petco Park in 2004, which of course was memorable for different reasons here in town.
Sure.
But for you yourself, all the years that you've been in football, have you ever been through something like this where you're opening up a brand spanking new stadium?
Well, my first year at Ball State, coming there from Michigan as a head coach, they replaced the grass for turf. The press box they tore down. So there was a couple things, but not like this, not from ground zero, and just watching the developments, and so nothing this neat, this big. So it's really been fun to watch, and you've been around a long time. I've been around a long time. When they said that they were going to build a stadium, I wasn't quite sure.
Right. You don't really sort of, until you actually see it, you don't quite believe it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's right.
Yeah.
You're right, Darren.
Yep, I know. And being on CBS, I mean, I never really know. I mean, I know everybody likes to be on national television. I'm sure there's benefit to it. I don't know how it's quantifiable, but again, I defer to you, Brady. Like, you've been around the sport a long time. Getting an opportunity to have an exclusive window on a channel like CBS means what to a program?
Well, I think it means a lot. I think it validates a little bit who you are as a university, who you are as a football program. I think the national exposure, believe me, because when we played those games in the Boise game this year, on that Friday morning, I tell you, I got more texts and more phone calls after that game about how people were so glad they had an opportunity to watch us play.
It's like a 3-hour infomercial for San Diego State football, isn't it?
Yes, it is. No doubt. No doubt.
That's exactly right. And, of course, the weather will be perfect, and everybody around the country is going to be going, man, how do I get there? That's where I want to be. Brady, a couple other things, if you don't mind. One, since we haven't had a chance to chat with you since Friday, the Mountain West Conference making the announcement it was going to do away with division play. I'm sure you have a thought on the future of the conference itself, making sure that it's moving in a different direction.
Well, I think that's a really good decision. We talked about it. We had our Mountain West meetings in the first week of May, and there was a discussion about it. But I think it was inevitable that that's what we were going to do. I think it really helps us as a conference, and you get to have the really possibly tie into a January 1st ball game with the winner of the conference.
Right. And one of the things about football is making sure that you preserve some of the traditions. And I think that would be one of the hang-ups for some people. But it sounds like the conference itself, as best it could, took that into account to make sure that it would preserve some of the traditions and the rivalries that exist inside of the conference itself. Yeah,
and I think also, Darren, I think once the Pac-12 made that move, and the reasoning why, I think it was easy for us to do the same.
I don't know. I'm always confused as what rules you are or aren't allowed to, or what rules we have to abide by here. But there is a story here. Madison High alum expecting to transfer out of USC. Brady, are you allowed to talk about this?
Well, I think there's some good things going on, and let's just see what happens.
Okay, but there's no reason to think that what we're reading isn't to be believed.
I can't verify anything.
Okay, like I said, I'm always confused by what the rules are or aren't. Do you have a quick thought? Are you Team Saban or Team Jimbo Fisher?
I both of them. To be honest with you, I think both of them have done a heck of a job. As football coaches. I don't know about the spat that they had. I think sometimes we all got to be careful in the different environments we get in and what we say.
It's sort of surprising, isn't it, just to have coaches that forceful, like out there publicly. I'm so used to talking to you and Rocky Long all throughout the years here. Like I'd be shocked if we ever heard anything coming like that from Brady Hoke.
Well, we'll see. You don't know. It's got to be something that I think has to be talked about. But the whole NLI is something, and the portal is something that somehow, some way, Darren, we've got to get it straightened out and figure it out.
Well. And it sounds to me like that there's a lot expected of coaches. That really the sport is changing, and the coaches are really expected to change with it.
Well, there's no question, and I just think it's a great opportunity for the student athletes. Mm-hmm. But does it create selfishness on your football team? I look at the different things that are going on, and then you start bartering,
Right.
to get a recruit, and I don't think that was the intent of either one of the rules. But when you put the transfer portal and the NIL at the same time, you're going to have problems, and that's what we have, and it's tough. And I can see both guys the way they feel, but I don't know. I just don't know if it was a good decision to bring both of those things, the portal and the transfer and the NIL, on at the same time. I think that really puts us in a tougher situation.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Well, hey, a thrill to hear this news today. I mean, I can already picture what it's going to be like a couple of hours before kickoff on September 3rd. There's already a countdown here, counting down the days till we see San Diego State opening up Snapdragon Stadium against the University of Arizona. Brady Hoke, we always appreciate it. Thank you so much for taking the time, as always.
Thanks so much, Darren. Appreciate it, and give Marty my best.
You got it. Brady Hoke, everybody.